Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the video. So today I have another Squad SDK tutorial video for you guys. And so in this video I'll be showing you guys how you can create your own working door that you can put wherever you want and customize it however you want. Now for this video I'm using the bunker door frame and door. But you guys can obviously, if you model your own door frame or door or use some of the other doors in the SDK, you can. But before we go further, I also just want to say thank you to Loki from the dev team that helped me get started with this door to work and stuff. And so yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for him for helping me. And so with that said, let's get to it. So the first thing that you will need to do is, if you don't have a blueprints folder yet in your mod, create one, and then in that create another folder called doors, and then in here is where you're gonna find the BP underscore generic interactable. And with this you're gonna drag it over, copy it. Now I already have it here, and so I'm gonna open it, and then what you guys need to do is there's a lot of things that will have to be doing that we have to do, but the first thing is that we'll do is add 2 static meshes and a cube. And so the first static mesh is my door frame, and then my second one is attached to the door frame, and then the third one is the cube. So to add a static mesh, just click here and say static mesh, and the same for the cube. And then the cube is attached to the door, and this is the cube here, and that is what we're using a bit later. And so once you've done that, attach the just leave the interaction box here. You will have by default a interactable box here. Just make it a bit bigger, and then on the door frame here where static mesh is, this is where you now choose your door frame that you want to use. And so if you guys want to follow me completely on the tutorial, you guys can use the same bunker door frame, and then for the door I use the bunker door small. And so once you guys have done that, you can compile and save. And then if we go down to usable data, you guys will see there's a few things I did here as well. And so by display name I just added press F to open, and then I added a array here, and then in here by usable text I set the bunker door, and then I just added the pickup ammo bag icon for now. And then you can add your own custom color here if you want to. And then here by interact widget item class I set it to interactable item generic, and then for the interact widget class it's the same. And then here by draw location offset, this is where I am using the cube's location here. So you guys can just copy that, go back to the usable data and copy it, the cube's location in here. And once you guys have done that, we can go on to the next step. That is, we go to the event graph, and in here first thing that we can do is create a boolean called door is open, and in here by replication make sure it is rep notify. I don't know why I changed back to replication, but anyway I must have done it by mistake. But make sure it is on rep notify, and if we compile and save, okay, so there's 3 things here, 2 custom events, and then there's another event here, server on used. And now to get this, just right click and search for event server on used, and then you will get this one. And then we take the boolean and then drag off here and search for the not bool. Once you've done that, just leave it like that for now, and then create a custom event called server set door opened. And then with the set door opened, add an input here, call it door is open, and then we take the door is open, set it to this one, and then we go on to create the second custom event. And with this one we create a branch. If you guys don't know how to do that, just hold B and left click, and then you connect the door is open variable or boolean, and then here you guys will see I have this door animation thing, and now this is a timeline. And now to get this, just right click and search for timeline, and yours will probably look like this, and then you can name this the same as door animation if you want to, and then with the true connect it to the reverse, and then the false to play from start. And now you guys won't have this rotate thing from the start, that's okay. And then you guys will see here on the components, the door is here, and now we're gonna take this, and then you're gonna search for set relative rotation, and then you guys will just click on here and say split struct pin, and you guys will have the X, Y, and Z. And then by the rotate we're gonna connect this to the Z, but you guys won't have that yet. So the first thing that we can do is we can add this event, custom event that we created to here. And so you just right click and say server set door opened, and it will look like this, and then you connect the bool up like that. And then that's it for the event server on used. And then we can do the same for the server set door opened. We can just search for animate door, and this is this custom event here, and then we can go into the door animation. And so double click on this thing, and now your guys' one will be empty. And so the first thing that you have to do is click on this add float, and now once you've done that, right click and say add key to curve float, and then once you've done that, add another one, and then on the first one make sure the time is 0 and the value also 0, and then on the second one you guys will put it on 2, the time, and the value on -90. And so once you guys have done that, select both of them by holding shift and right clicking on one of them, and make sure you have this auto selected, and that will make it so this curve is smooth. And so if you guys have done all of that correctly, you guys should be fine, and you can click save and exit, and then you guys will have a float output here, and then connect that to the Z rotation. And so that is basically it for that. And then another thing is you guys will see up here is class defaults. So click that and make sure you have always relevant selected, and then make sure you also have replicates also checked. And so once you've done that, compile and save. And then another thing that you guys need to do is select the door on the viewport and go down until you see component replication. Make sure component replicates is checked, And then another thing is, there's a function here that I created, but I couldn't remember if I used it or not. But I have it here. It's called on rep door is open, and in here, so you will obviously create that function, and then in here we're gonna just right click and search for that animate door, and then connect this up. And so we can just compile and save. Once you've done that, we should be all good to go. And so what you can do now is drag this out into your world anywhere you want to. And now obviously I have mine here already, and so I can quickly show you guys how it looks like in the end. Now I'm starting my game with 2 clients, so I can show you guys. It is also replicated, so if you open it, the other client should also see it. So I have put my second client on my second screen, and so you guys are currently watching my first screen. And so I just moved the second client into position, and I did not want to create a squad. I wanted to join first one. And so let's quickly run down the stairs. And so I'm quickly gonna switch to the second client, and then I'm gonna open the door, and you guys will see it also opens on the client, the first client. Now there is currently a problem where if it's open, the door doesn't have any collision. Like when you shoot, shoot through it, the bullets does not get stopped. But if it is closed, it does stop projectiles. And so now, because the second client opened the door, I'm quickly gonna come to the first one. I'm just gonna make this bigger so you guys can see a bit better. And then now if I come here and close it, there is a bug sometimes where if you click twice, it opens again from the beginning. And so when I close it, there is sometimes a delay. I'm not sure why, but then eventually it will close. I don't know why it's, well, there it is closing now. It is a bit still buggy, but hopefully I can make a follow-up video sometime if I figured out some of the quirks and that stuff. But you guys can also modify it how you want to. And yeah, one other thing that I do want to have working sometime is if you open the door, you guys will see this F to open the door stays on the same place, and now I wanted to have it so it follows the door and not just stay in this one position. Now Squad doesn't by default have any interactable UI that is like animated or movable, so that's still something I need to figure out. But yeah, also one thing that I did forget is you guys need to, if I quickly exit and I go to the door interactable and I go to viewport, click the cube and make sure, obviously you guys should have made it smaller so it fits in between the handle. But if you go down and just make sure you have hidden in-game checked, otherwise you will just have a random white cube on the door's handle. And so if you guys have done that, that's it. You guys should have a workable door. Now before this video I did struggle a lot on my own until I asked Loki if he could help me with it, and so I'm really thankful that he were able to help me get this working and making this tutorial video for you guys. But with that said, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, a thumbs down. And also remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And also remember to check all of the links in the video description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.